leprechauns out there tonight. I tell you what, we have got products that we have got to show you because they have made our lives so much faster and so much better. And one of them is the Rapala R12 lithium cordless, amazing, wonderful super knife. And I am not exaggerating there. This knife is something else. And she saw it at Fun and Sun Boat Show in Hurst, Texas when it came out. And she basically told the sales rep, "You're going to sell this to me before I leave." It's a prototype that then, 2 years ago, in 21.
That would be 2 years ago.
And he had to go to the register and tell them, "They're buying this knife. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it. Can you ring it up and sell it to them?" And he's, "Yeah, I can do that." So we took off with that knife. And it was one of my best years ever for hybrids and stripers. And I cleaned probably somewhere between 75 and 100 with it, and I broke it.
I thought you said it was 400.
Hush. I'm trying to be honest now, so people can believe me.
Now you want to be honest.
Now, because you made fun of me anyway, so I might as well come clean because you're going to make fun of me. Anyway.
Well, so your best year is 75 to 100 stripers?
That was in 3 months.
Oh, you didn't add that.
Yeah. In 3 months, I cleaned that many of them with it. And hybrids have, and stripers have very big bones. Mm-hmm. And so it, near as I can tell, it detached the blade oscillator from the motor.
And, like, people know what the hell that is.
Well, yeah, because they're all engineers. It broke the blades loose, but they didn't oscillate correctly with.
Did it what?
It broke the blades loose from the oscillator.
What's the oscillator?
It's the thing that makes the blades go. You asked.
I did.
And so this is just a great knife. The case is great. It's a little dirty. It's got some fish poop on it, but there she is in all her glory. Plus the one extra battery I kept when I sent the knife back. They liked the video so much that I did the first time, which I'll be a link down there for this from Apollo. They liked it so much, they were like, "Just send him a knife." I mean, he's enjoying the knife, he's using it, and so I am just going to go ahead and tell you guys right now, if I wasn't sponsored by Rapala and I found this knife and I use it, I would never buy another knife other than Rapala's. Because we all have backup knives, all of us do. And my backup knife is a 110 Rapala, which every knife I've had since I started guiding, we've had Rapala since you started working with me, right? And then we tried some other ones.
Yeah, we tried those cheapo green things.
And they just didn't last. And
like maybe two
I actually had one of their 110 volts last me. Remember that one lasted almost 2 years. Lasted a long time. But this one has lasted 2 years, and what y'all need to understand about 2 years' time for us is somewhere between 10 and 15,000 fish. Easily.
That's not an exaggeration.
That's not an exaggeration. That's the truth.
An exaggeration.
That's the truth. And so after I broke that knife, I also got on the website. They sent me this one, and I got this knife from Rapala off their website. And it is a really great fillet knife. It's sharp. It does what it's supposed to do. It's got a lock in. It locks the blade in. And it also has a ventilated sheath so that the knife dries. It's stainless steel. It sharpens really easily. It stays sharp. It goes right through the bones of the hybrids and stripers like they're not there. So you have to kind of cut between the ribs and cut through, and then you go ahead and go back through and cut the rest of them out. But it's comfortable in your hand. It's got a soft grip. It doesn't slip no matter how slimy and wet your hand is. You don't have a problem with that slipping in your hand. So between these two knives, there isn't a fish that swims that we've caught that we couldn't clean with the two of them together. We'll use this one from the big fish. I've even cleaned about a 30-pound flathead catfish with this knife, and it didn't have any problems with it. So what I'm saying is, on those bigger fish, you use this one to get the fillets off. Okay, that's it.
You're supposed to do that before.
I know, I didn't. I'm sorry, okay? There, now. Fine. Anyway, so between the two knives, you can clean anything that swims easily. And this cleans up. This actually does finer detail work than this one does, because it's so fast on the oscillation, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, make sure first that it doesn't go on before you put the battery and the blades in. So you put the battery in, it's applied. And then with it locked on, you put the blades in, you've got the lock mechanism right there. Insert them, take it off the lock, and you can see how fast those blades they operate. It's really, really quick. You can see the ventilation on here, so this knife does not get hot. And all this soft blast right here, this is very, it's grippy. Yeah, it's grippy. Your hand doesn't slip on it. Just like this knife hand here, this handle here, it doesn't slip in your hand. You don't have to worry about it. And no matter, again, how slimy or wet your hand's on, you don't have to worry about losing your grip and it slipping. So it's just an awesome all-around knife. We haven't had any issues with it. All of our captains, Captain Bradley, Captain Don, Captain Jonathan, myself, this is our go-to knife. This is our main knife. We all have backup 110-volt Rapala knives in case we don't have, you forget your knife at home, or you forget to charge the batteries. And so always have a backup. It's kind of like NASA, have redundant systems because stuff happens. But you will love this knife. And I've got a video coming up of me cleaning fish, so you can see exactly how quickly this knife can clean a mess of fish. We cleaned probably 40 fish the other night in less than 10 minutes with it, with her helping me doing the ribbing with this knife. So sand bass, crappie, yellow perch, walleye, anything that doesn't have the big, heavy, thick bones, this knife and this knife will do those. And then this knife to combine with it, the heavier bone fish, you're not going to have any problem cleaning anything pretty much that swims. None whatsoever. This one's easy to put an edge on, like I said. It keeps an edge. I've been fishing for 57 years that I can remember, and I don't think I've ever touched or used a better knife than this one. And you've been guiding with me for 13 years now, and she hasn't seen anything as remarkable as this. And she was the one that found it in the first place. So guys, listen to your wives. They know what they're doing when they try to steal something, a prototype from a salesperson. Just go ahead and let them do it. It's okay, just have a sense of humor. It's all right. So, if you want to clean a bunch of fish,
you show them how to take the little stuff that Jonathan showed.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because it can be hard getting the battery out.
The battery. The biggest mistake I was making, I wasn't pushing in and pulling. I was just trying to pull it out, and it's really difficult. So the trick is to go ahead and push in simultaneous both sides and then pull out. Because I'm not really good at doing two things at once, but I've learned. So the chargers, I saw that. The charger's great. The charger doesn't ever give me any issues. You really, like I say, if you're a professional fisherman, or you're just a really good fisherman that catches a lot of fish, maybe you donate them to your church's food bank, or you give them to people who don't have fish, this is your knife. End of story. You don't need to go look anywhere else. You don't need to try anything else. This is the knife for you. And as a matter of fact, all of our friends, Mike and Joe, that fish for catfish on Tawakoni, their issue is that, and you've seen us try to clean catfish with this knife. Yeah. The blades has too tight a serration, and they're not quite together. They're not quite flexible enough on the skin on a catfish or the rib cages. So I actually got a hold of Rapala Product and Development and told them they need to emulate the blades of a competitor and make them where they're adaptable or they can fit into the Rapala R12.
What'd they say?
They said they were going to look into it. Thank you for the suggestion, and we will
got
let you know.
money?
No, we don't get no money. We might get another free knife with the catfish blade. That'd be cool, or even just the catfish blades.
Yeah.
You know, because we do catch a lot of catfish on occasion. They're kind of a bycatch. We don't really fish for them, but we do catch them. The case is durable, as you can see. I mean, it just lasts and lasts and lasts.
Almost.
Yeah, almost Omar proof. Almost. Except when you try to clean every single fish and crate it. But again, they like the knife, so they like the video so well. I heard that. They like the knife so well that the video, not video so well. They gave me this one. They sent me this one.
But what did you hear?
I don't know.
You said I heard that.
I heard you mumble something over there. It's probably smart alecky. But seriously, guys, this knife and this other knife, just do yourself a favor. Save yourself some time of going through a lot of knives that just don't work. And money. And get you this one and a 110 for a backup and this one. And you will be set for the rest of your life. Unless you do something like I do usually and find a way to break the unbreakable. So, we love you guys. We appreciate you watching. And we are going to tag Rapala. We're going to tag the link to the knife. And anything else you can think of we need to do. But seriously, easily between 10 and 15,000 fish have been cleaned with this knife. And since I stopped using it for the bigger fish, we haven't had a hiccup. We've had to replace. I think the only thing that all of us have had to do, and we've all had this knife for at least a year, the only thing we've had to do is replace the blades. And that's it. Actually, they make a serrated blade sharpener too, so if we sharpen the blades, we probably wouldn't have to replace them either.
Yeah, probably not.
So, just there's a video coming up of Debbie. She videoed me cleaning a bunch of fish, and it came out really well. So, we so appreciate you watching, guys. Y'all have a good one. Yeah, I see that. Stop it. I don't do that to you. This is going to be loud, so I'm going to go ahead and probably just talk for a second about the Rapala R12. I've had this knife going on 2 years, and this is a follow-up video to the first one about the best knife in 21 years. Let me tell you something, this is the best knife ever. The blade, I mean, the oscillation on this thing is super fast. It's a lithium rechargeable battery, and I have literally probably cleaned 11 to 12,000 fish on this knife with no failures, and that's because I understand its use. It's great for the panfish and things like that, but when you start cleaning the bigger fish like stripers and catfish, the blades aren't quite what you want. You want to go ahead and I use a regular knife, and then I use this knife for cleanup. I use a Rapala 9-inch fillet knife, and then I come back and clean up the fillets with this knife. But this has just been an awesome knife. So now I'm going to shut up, and you guys can watch me cleaning fish with it after 2 years. See how smooth that is? I mean, that just cuts through the bones and takes the meat right off the skin. Unless I cut through the tail, which happens sometimes. But that's right. Get a bigger one here so you can see it really perform. Cut down behind the fin, cut down the length of the fish. You'll feel it hit the backbone. Take the fillet off. We'll come back later here and cut the ribs out. But this knife is just an amazing knife.
see, you're not wasting anything with this knife. You get the whole thing right there without any issues. You get all the meat off the bone. The only problem we've had with this knife is me leaving it at home or forgetting to charge the batteries. But it is definitely by far the best knife I have ever used in my life for cleaning fish like this. You can't beat it. You can make short work of a big pile of fish with this knife.